For a long time, people had been telling me to go to business school, but I wasn't sure why I would be going, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do afterwards.
I chose Haas because it was a top 10 MBA with a clean tech concentration.
Haas really screams out responsible business and social impact to me, and those are issues I'm passionate about. I wanted to use my business education to drive a meaningful impact in the world, and Haas really has a strong reputation for that.
Haas is the culture. Haas is its people. Haas is finding a way to learn the fundamentals and blend that with a mindset for change and innovation and challenging what you think you know. You won't find that anywhere else. Haas is completely unique and the right place for the right kind of person.
When I was choosing a business school, I wanted to make sure I was going to be in a community where people were supportive of one another, even if we're growing in different directions and working on different things. That would be a collaborative environment that we can all grow together.
This is the most supportive environment that I have ever seen in my entire life. I was just struck by how humble and how collaborative and how supportive and talented every single person I met from this school was. And that is the environment that I wanted to be in.
At Haas, you can plunge into this community of people that want to see you succeed every day.
The offerings that Haas provides, whether directly or indirectly, are simply unparalleled.
Once I came out to Haas and visited it, and I saw the small class size and what it meant for the tight-knit community that I would be able to cultivate here, that really was the tipping point for me. I was like, this is the kind of school I want to be in because of the community I'll be able to build.
I've just had such amazing friendships and career opportunities that have come out of the Haas network already.
Haas really attracts people from a very diverse set of backgrounds, and I wanted to get exposure to a lot of different paths that I may not even know existed. And Haas seemed like the perfect place to expose me to all those different potential paths so that I could understand more about them and make my own.
The sense of community is really profound, and it's part of that might be having the smaller class size, but a big part is just the type of people that are attracted to Haas.
I wanted to be surrounded by peers who weren't all going into the same thing or interested in the same industry or same handful of jobs. And so Berkeley really stood out to me for the people that I met along the way during the admissions process, who shared such a broad variety of interests, whether that was nonprofit leadership or things more traditional like consulting or banking.
We can't really find a better place that is just sort of nestled in the middle of so many just huge sort of tectonic shifts in technology, and is really the epicenter of innovation.
Obviously, the Bay Area is beautiful, and then there's just such great access to companies here, really anything you're looking for, big, small, something in between. So I was excited about just the options that gave me.
Haas is very conveniently located in the Bay Area, very close to San Francisco, at the heart of entrepreneurship and the tech industry.
I wanted to get the exposure to the full Berkeley ecosystem, including the core science and technology that's coming out of the labs. So I wanted the exposure to some of the biggest and the best names in the biotechnology industry and being able to collaborate with them.
I think that Haas is a place that builds really true leaders, and we do it in a way that is different and unique than many other top business schools. I find myself coming out of Haas a new person, and going through that transformation was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life.
I think the benefit of Berkeley Haas is that it really changes the frameworks that you think about your life through. To have a class at a top-tier business school makes space to ask, what do you want to do and why do you want to do it? And to have that conversation before you jump into the next phase of your career really allowed me to have a metamorphosis-like experience where I got to redefine the type of business leader I wanted to be.
Haas is an amazing place to not know what you want to do. You'll be surrounded by people who have passions and interests that you've probably never heard of or ever even considered. And what that did for me was open up brand new ways of thinking and brand new lenses to look at the world through in terms of what's possible for me or what might I be interested in.
Being a conscientious business person was one of the primary reasons I came to Haas. I didn't want to just be in it for the bottom line. I didn't want to just be a business person that thought solely about returning value to the shareholders, although of course that's important too. I was really interested in what it meant to run a sustainable business and to learn about those practices in a way that was both strategic but also ethical and moral and good. And I found that at Haas, everything we learned was geared towards being both a fiscally responsible leader as well as a person who was conscientious about our people and our practices and our products. And it was something that I valued the most out of my time at Haas.